enjoying these fall mornings here on the farm. This is truly one of my favorite times of the year. It's just such a special time with the weather changing and things are starting to slow down. Baby calves were born here in August and September, so everyone is up on their feet and doing well. And it's just a time of year that we can really reap the benefits of our garden all summer long, but it's starting to slow down and we're starting to harvest the last of our crops and the last of our animals for the summer that we raise, like our pigs and our chickens. They have all been ready for harvest, so we have been able to narrow down our daily chores and stock all of our freezers and our customers' freezers. So it has just been a really great feeling, and this is truly one of my favorite times of the year to just slow down and enjoy the weather and the beautiful day on the farm. We have a heavy frost in the forecast for this week, so I really wanted to get out to the garden and try to pick as much remaining vegetables as I possibly can. We still have a lot of lettuce and some peppers that I need to pick through. We even have some okra that finally took off, but we didn't get a lot of it picked this summer. For some reason, our okra was just really slow coming on. So I'm going to try to get out there and pick as much as I can before the frost, and then spend a little bit of time in the kitchen today trying to put all of these vegetables away and preserve and cook as much as I can and be ready for the winter months when we won't have any fresh vegetables growing on the farm. Every year we try to grow a garden, and our goal is to always have it a little bit bigger than the year before, in hopes that we can grow as many vegetables as we possibly can and try to use all those vegetables without having to buy any from the grocery store. So we plan our garden out to have some early spring and summer vegetables, have a lot growing in the mid and late summer, and then even try to get a pretty good fall crop. But we always have an abundance that I'm able to store away for the winter. And this year I did some canning and a lot of freezing of vegetables, and that's one of the biggest jobs when you have a garden, is managing all the things that you grow and trying to keep it all from going to waste and actually use the vegetables in your daily cooking, which during the summertime, it can get a little bit overwhelming because there's just so much. But I found some easy ways of preserving some of those things that we just get a ton of. And one of those things is peppers. When we have a ton of peppers, I just simply like to clean them and chop them up and then freeze them. And they make such an easy thing to just throw in your eggs in the morning or to use in recipes throughout the wintertime, just because they're just chopped up, frozen, ready to go in a bag. And then the lettuce, I found if I just keep it washed and ready in the refrigerator, we can add a fresh salad into a lot of our meals, and garden fresh lettuce will last quite a while just in the refrigerator. Whatever I don't wash, I'll just store away in a plastic Ziploc bag, and it will last in the fridge for a couple weeks. And then as the lettuce starts to get towards the end, I will make like a wilted lettuce recipe, which I basically cook bacon and then use the bacon grease to render the lettuce down and like wilt it. And then I add some salt and apple cider vinegar and the bacon back into it, and it makes a really easy side dish. So just trying to find ways to use all the vegetables that you're growing is really important whenever you're trying to cook exclusively from your farm to the table. When you grow a big garden, that's just the first part of it. Actually harvesting and staying up with all the crops is a whole other part of it, and it's actually something you just have to give yourself a little bit of grace over and learn over time what works best for you and how to use the vegetables and how to preserve them in a way that you will actually use them in your daily cooking. I was able to cut way more okra than we will eat right now while it's still fresh. So that's what I'm doing right now, is whipping up a little bit of batter, and I'm going to bread this okra and then freeze it. And that's one of our favorite ways to eat okra, is to have it breaded and fried. So I know this will be a great taste of summer this winter time when we're craving some fried okra. I have a fun fall themed supper planned for this evening, but before I prep that, I'm going to get outside and move the cows to a new section of pasture. So moving the cows every couple days is something that we do on our farm throughout the grazing season, and that's just to try to get the most out of our pastures and be able to graze them as long as we can throughout the whole growing season and then even into the winter months. So moving them around like this has been such a benefit to our farm, and it's a great benefit to the cows as well. They really do well in this sort of system, and they get the best grass that our farm has to offer throughout the entire growing season. So we're getting towards the end of our rotations just because we've had a really dry fall, so we're not getting a lot of regrowth right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and move them as many more times as I can before we have to start feeding them hay for the winter months. One of my favorite things about eating fresh from the farm is being able to embrace each season and cook with in-season vegetables and make in-season type meals. But we still have an abundance of late summer peppers that I'm going to want to use up, and we had some really pretty big bell peppers that I harvested from the garden. So I wanted to make some stuffed peppers for tonight's dinner, and I decided to do a little bit of a fall twist on them. So I'm roasting one of my pumpkins off of my front porch, and I'm going to incorporate the roasted pumpkin into the stuffed peppers for a little bit of a fall inspired meal using some of these big, beautiful bell peppers from the garden. One of my favorite ways to feel inspired in the kitchen is to just create a meal when I have a little bit of extra time and when I have some vegetables on hand that I need to use up. And I don't always follow a recipe, I kind of just go for it, and I really wanted to try to use some pumpkin in a dinner recipe. That's something I have not done yet this fall. This is the first time that I took the time to roast one of the pumpkins on our porch. And then these bell peppers were just so pretty. We have not had great success with peppers in our garden actually over the years, and this year we had a little bit of a better year. So when I saw those big bell peppers, I knew I wanted to try to make a recipe to incorporate them, and I didn't want to chop them all up. So I'm like, let's just do some stuffed peppers. I had a little bit of extra time during nap time today, so I was able to get this meal all put together and then keep it in the refrigerator and bake it later on when we came in for the evening. So I just love finding time to spend in the kitchen and put these types of meals together using farm fresh ingredients, either that I grew myself on the farm or sourced locally, and just getting inspired to make nutrient-dense meals for my family. I hope you enjoyed this video and feel inspired to get out and just enjoy this season, embrace the beautiful weather and the scenery, and spend a little bit of extra time in your kitchen creating cozy meals to share with your friends and family. Thanks so much for watching.